real.
Yeah.
Every day above the ground, just try to make it mean something.
Yeah, that's the message.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
I don't think they understand what they're looking at and what they had. Let me see. There we go. I don't understand what they. I don't think they understand what they're witnessing. Can you kind of try to explain to them the real message of what we're trying to get across, and what I know what I think the media is doing, but I want to hear what you think they're doing.
Well, the media is systematically, culturally programming us to destroy each other. They program you to focus on hate. They program you to always focus on drama. They even took away all the educational programs off television. That's why Bill Cosby went through what he went through. He tried to change NBC. Once he tried to purchase it, they was like, "How dare you?" Because he wanted to bring educational programs back. Why was Sesame Street be canceled? Why would things like Connection and teaching you about electricity, all of these programs they used to put on Saturday morning cartoons is even gone. Anything that was educational for children, my cousin wasn't even allowed to watch TV anymore in the mornings because he said, "Hey man, they put in too much stuff on TV now that's not even supposed to be." He's like, "I'm on Comedy Central or Cartoon Network, and they got some cartoon on there at like 2 in the afternoon. And I'm like way too adult." I'm like, you can't watch this." So the television had to be monitored, and now it's like no more filters. So now your kids are exposed to all of this stuff, and now that with technology, you have television right on your phone. It's hard to keep these kids away from this stuff. You don't have to tell them anything. You be like, "Where you hear that from?"
Yeah.
These kids, right? They pick it up and they go with it so quick because you be so busy doing what you're doing. You turn around, they got stuff on their phones. They on the watch now. My cousin got a watch thing. I'm like, "It's on your watch now? You got a phone on your watch? You James Bond? You don't even have a job."
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is that this was systematically done because once you keep people distracted, you can change law. We just had 53 laws changed Friday. Last Friday. People don't even know. We had 93 laws changed within this year. And then one of the changes here, we're the first state in the country to allow Asian American history to be taught in the classes out here in all the schools. They're going to teach Asian American history. But I'm like, wow, I didn't even see that as a change, but they just put this law in. Nobody's talking about it. They made 52 other new changes since Friday. Nobody's even looked. So now, this is why I try to tell people, you have to, everybody focus on Trump, Biden. It's cool to focus on the president of the United States of America. But if you're not focused on what's happening right outside your door, it don't make a difference. You should know who your alderman is in your ward because that's important. If you don't know your alderman, I was able to get things done all the way here, all the way where my grandmother lived in the house, and I stayed in the city. We were able to get the street paid, everything because we paid attention and we said, "Look, these aldermen care about them jobs." Y'all don't know that, but they do. The aldermen in Chicago, they get paid $120,000 a year. And they get $175,000 they get to pay out for 3 employees of theirs. And they got $75,000 in their expense account under the Title II for the Municipal Code of Chicago. So you have that at your disposal. So you think they want to lose all that money and get out of office? You got the power to vote them out. See, well, that's why when you see those people that have those block clubs, they pay more attention to those block clubs than their average everyday neighbor because everybody's individual. Half of the people don't even know their neighbor next door. 2 days north down. Y'all have to bond together as a community because once you can control the vote and say, "Hey, we're gonna vote you out of office," you think that guy want to lose that $120,000 a year and he can give away that $175? See, now you affecting financial. That's where your power come in. You have somebody in there working for you, and you get things done. And the more people you unify and control the power of votes, that's why they're fighting now for voting rights because they're trying to change all of it now to lessen what your vote could mean. Because they realize how powerful the vote is and that people are waking up now with all this technology and making it easier to vote. And that's dangerous for them. because they want to stay distracted and don't have time to go out and vote.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're absolutely right. We're trained to focus on the distraction and focus on the presidential election and not our local elections.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do have a presidential election, they don't even talk to us about anything that they're doing. They bring out hot sauce. They bring out a rapper. They bring out who we like. And
Exactly.
so I saw that early on, and I've been saying this the whole time. It's all about who you like and what group you're in. And that's why they did this whole Instagram thing. It's all about likes and who we like. We have to get back to having a conversation. I can't get mad at you for your opinion. People say they'll start the conversation like, "Oh, I don't agree with everything Carcino say," and then such and such and such and such. But then once they said that, they go into the conversation looking for the disagreement.
Exactly.
When I go into a conversation with you, I'm hearing everything you're saying. And even if something I don't agree with, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what we agree on. All the stuff you said this far is stuff that we need to hear. And that's not what we're hearing on our television station. We're hearing about tragedy. We're hearing about all these things that has nothing to do with the betterment of people, period, or let alone just black people.
Yeah, and they use the most popular media they can.
Mm-hmm.
They what way they look at the monitor. They say who people gravitate to the most,
Mm-hmm.
and they try to, if they can't see somebody up there that they could work with, they'll make the guy.
Yeah.
You know, they'll put him up there. You know, LeBron James, he's up there. Stephen A. Smith, he's up there. They put these guys in position to silence people that want to actually ask questions. I'm not saying even coming up with ideas, they don't like Kyrie Irving because he asks questions.
Yes.
They consider it to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant barely speaks at all, but when he speaks, they attack him because he doesn't follow the status quo. He's gonna wake up people to ask questions. Kyrie his mind is thinking in a way that these are the questions they think. Because when he speak, I said, well, I don't see what a problem with anything he said. That's actually a good question.
Right.
What are your plans is besides let's hold hands and put on shirts and take a knee? I know for LeBron, that's fine. But for everybody else, it don't make sense. And LeBron, they put out this whole narrative of LeBron going to become a billionaire. And I don't know where that started. It's floating everywhere. LeBron's going to be a billionaire. LeBron's going to be a billionaire by the end of the year. And I'm like, well, that's great for LeBron. But he's from Akron. He's from Akron, Ohio. Akron, Ohio, in February of 2020, right before from the whole COVID virus hit. They have led the state in evictions of African Americans, everybody in that community. The highest eviction almost in the state. They're like almost for African Americans, almost the highest in the country. Akron, Ohio. It was the highest in the whole state of Ohio. That's where you're from. I'm like, that's your town. Isn't that where you built the school?
Mm-hmm.
But see, they put the school out there because it's just really his name. See, if he really was doing this school was a farce. He doesn't control none of the education that comes in there or what the kids are being taught. The state can change it. It's a state school. So the state controls it, which means the taxpayers, you, the poor, have to pay for the school. LeBron don't have to put another dime in the school.
Mm-hmm.
If he made it a charter, that means everybody donates and it's full donation at a charter school. So you can control the academics, curriculum, what they learn. Like Jalen Rose, shout out to him. His school, he has over 89% graduation rate.
Shout out to Jalen Rose.
Yeah, he had his first graduation class, I think about a year ago. I want to commend him for that because that was a remarkable achievement. And yeah, it's cool to have a school, but when you got pictures all on the wall of you, Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X all in one photo was on the wall, it's just narcissistic. Then he's gonna wear the civil rights suits and the glasses on like he just came from a rally when they interviewed him at the school. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this dude here he's textbook propaganda. If whenever you look up propaganda, they should have that picture of him in that civil rights suit and them doggone sunglasses, them eyeglasses on that he never wore again, sitting over there trying to do interviews. Now, the thing about it is, I don't like the way he allows them to use him as a puppet.
Mhm.
So my thing is, you should know you want to be the face so bad that you know what you're doing is fake. But when there's real issues going on in your city that you didn't even tweet about it, LeBron. You know it's happening. It's written in your paper everywhere. All the people that look like you that grew up where you grew up in your neighborhood are being evicted out of their area. They're gentrifying that area. It's obvious. It ain't about, oh, they just can't pay their bills. This was going on before COVID. It's the highest in the state of Ohio, and that's where you're from. I'm not saying it's LeBron's job to pay everybody bills. I'm saying you charities and all the things that you do, this is something that needs to be done in your community. Where are you, LeBron?
Yeah.
You know, you didn't even tweet about it. You didn't even put out a tweet to bring awareness to it. That's what I'm saying. Math Carter, he there too. Ain't that your buddy and your sidekick, LeBron? He right there with you. Why he didn't say nothing about it? Rich Paul, whatever, he ain't say nothing about it. Your guy, the other friend that just holds your bags, he ain't say nothing about it. All y'all from Akron, right? So my thing is, if they're not saying anything about it and bringing awareness, why? That makes you think. Can they say anything about it?
No.
See?
You know, I know they coach you up and tell you. Like I said, I played in the league, and they coach you up on certain situations. They tell you before the game, hey, you get asked about this, just say this or don't say this. And you be like, well, I ain't with that. Like, if you have a right to say nothing. I'd be like, I ain't going out to shoot today then, because it's like I'm not gonna say what you want me to say. So when you stay in, there's a consequence for that. Like they say, if you don't do what they want, there's a consequence, and that's what company policy is. They kicking us in the ass in every aspect of freedom. Anytime you try to be an individual, it seems like there's a punishment for it.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
I believe that's true because they keep you in fear. They always dangle something in front of you. People fear like you're going to lose your money, and they always come at you monetarily. People are always afraid to say, because they're afraid of what they would lose. I mean, because of Charlemagne, they took my monetization away from YouTube for 6 months because me and Star got on them. And for 6 months, they thought that would break me because they they had no reason to do it. I didn't do nothing wrong. But they was like, we gonna see what he did. Now without us, he gonna he gonna come back and form, and then I'm like, oh no, we didn't do nothing wrong. We gonna wait this thing out. We gonna fight it all the way through because you did it wrongfully. You did it because somebody sent something in. Because I've told the name of the people who holding the strings. So I'll find out who holding the strings, and they don't like that because that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to know who holding the strings. You want to say, look, talk to the puppets. Their job is to take the abuse. Don't look behind the curtain.
So let me ask you this: what is it going to take for people to wake up and actually see the full message of what we're saying? Because now that Steve,
because he knew it was going to look real bad if he didn't apologize to them. But what you just said is changing. It's changing. It's already working. Because now people got to watch now what they're saying. They are really afraid to say something that they can go against the grain because people are listening. Man, I ran into a dude at the strip club the other day. He was talking about, we got. Shouts out to Sam.
Hey, listen, I was at the gas station just a minute ago. Dude scared the hell out of me. I'm sitting there doing a text. I got my daughter in the back. I'm getting gas. I'm trying to be, incognito.
Right.
And my windows rolled up. He say, I hear somebody saying, Mama's cooking. Mama's cooking. I look up like, what the He coming over to the truck, then another dude came like, man. So my encounters have been pretty positive. So it's like, this is the stuff that people really wanted to say. And they're actually starting to wake up and see it. It seems like they need a little more guidance. Because right now, it's still helping them because people are actually going there to see what it is that they're saying so that they can, see what I'm going to say or we're going to say. Right. We got to figure out a way to effectively get that off our airways because it's hurting our kids.
Right, and that's why, like right now, my kids, we got them like my godsons and everything, and my cousins. I send them to I like try to get them in different programs and things of that. Like we go online and check out new things, and now when they get older, I'm starting to put them in the coding because they got online coding you could do. But out here, you could see what a neighborhood is flourishing looks like. If you're in a flourishing environment, you get to see why it works that way. They have recreation. They have things for children to do. They have different type of recreational centers. They have different parks. If you go to a place where it's not functional, you see those things don't exist. Though there's no educational place for them to go to read, study, just to interact with other kids. So they don't grow. Most people from other neighborhoods, when they see each other, just because of the neighborhood they from, there's tension. That person might never done anything to you, but because the neighborhood y'all from, they might be tension. But if you had a recreational center, these people had a meeting ground where they actually met and talked, and they found out they had a lot more in common than they actually did. And we did that with the Nate Jones Foundation. We've been putting together with Craig Hodges, Lamont Brewster, Kendall Gill, all of us here in Chicago. We were putting together these events, and we was trying to build trade schools and have them built in the city, in the community. And we put together a plan. What we did, because all the leaders call themselves the leaders. I hope they have this on YouTube somewhere. Mm-hmm. They're all the black leaders supposed to met up here in Chicago. Farrakhan, they had oh my gosh, I can't remember the rest of them, but they had all the people who were selected. I think what was his name? Charles Gooden and all of them. They all met at Chicago State University, and it was the meeting of the world leaders. And I'm there, and I'm listening to this, all of this go down, and everyone had all these plans and ideas for the trades that we were talking about, and they got their money. Dr. Cornel West, he was there too, because I remember he was one. Everybody made great speeches, but nobody put a plan in action. Not one. And I was like, all of this people came out. They listened to the people, the real people that wanted to speak. They didn't really let them get to the microphone. But people had plans and people had ideas, and they were getting their communities in line because they're ready for change. A lot of people are. We went there with a plan, and what we were going to do is have all these people who were contractors, different type of architects, to take one day out of their week, teach a class on Saturday for free for charity. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We had people signed up to do that. They agreed that they would do this. We had contractors to teach these young kids free trades, teach them about how to be a contractor and all of these different things. So on this day, all we needed was the funding. They were so nervous about that because we put so much pressure on them to do it that they actually came up with an idea to block it, saying that, well, because you guys have very low census in African American, like we don't sign the census, and because of that, it dictates how much money can go to the community and how much money the government's going to spend because you don't fill out your census. That limits the amount of money and resources we can put in there because people are not registered as like they live there and all this. They're not taking the time, so we can't allocate the money there. The money.
See, a lot of people didn't know that though. They just get the paper and just throw it in the trash.
Exactly. But see now, this is why we have these conversations because now the people are listening here. They're gonna go and start asking questions. Say, okay, all right, I'm gonna play your game. We're gonna fill out the census. And then we want to know why the money, if the money don't come in, y'all going to have to say something.
Yes. That's what this is about, sharing information. And so me, you, Self-Talk, all the guys, Tough Guy, Gravity Takeout, the little fella, what is his name? Daddy's Cooking. What is his?
Daddy's Cooking. Yeah, I see.
He should change it to Daddy's Cooking. I like that.
Yeah, everybody just call him Daddy's Cooking.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. But man, it's just I don't think people understand what they're witnessing. We have the mainstream media afraid to run the same racket that they've been doing on these players. And I've said it that Stephen A's job to me is to diminish these players' contract because it's the way that he speak about people. And the way that we even communicate with each other now, we don't see black men getting respect. And I think that's why it's easier for, like Hassan Campbell. He came on my platform, over talking me the whole time, disrespecting me the whole time. And then he's the one that's trying to set the tone of what respect is and what I have to accept. And I'm like, dude, you literally telling the other guests to hold on. You telling me to hold on. Like, nothing about that is a healthy conversation that would be carried out the right way on the streets, face to face.
No, that's not what the public need to hear. See, and I was like, I really feel sorry for him. Like I really think him, Orlando Brown, they've had so much trauma in their life. They just know how to lash out. It's not even like thought out. It's just random, just anger, and he just says whatever first thing hits his mind.
Man,
and he started saying random things, and that's when I was just like, yeah, that's just trauma-like, And then if you mix any type of alcohol or drinking or smoking with that, it just becomes all too much toxic, just dangerous. And but a lot of people, he gets those type of people that gravitate to that.
Yeah.
Just to hear that, so they go over there for it because of controversy, and him making money off of it just feeds the problem to make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, but you're not gonna really learn too much. He'll say some things that's correct, but like I said, even the devil said some things that was correct.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it's just that, but is he correct? That's the problem, and I just like, nah, I don't even want to go into a trading of words with him, because it's not gonna do me any good. Because all it is like, hey, I'll get a lot of attention for that, but that's attention going in the wrong direction without any message behind it. I need to have it. If I'm gonna get involved with anything, like when I go at LeBron, there's a reason I went at LeBron. Like I went at Captain Jack and Matty Patty. I went at them because they came at me because they thought I was you. See, the message got back to me because my page got spammed all of a sudden because I was just showing your videos, the lives and stuff that you were doing. So they would assume that, oh, this is Kwame's page. So they just attacked my page and started trying to tear me down, and I went back to track it to see like what's going on. I'm like, hey, something's going on over here. So I'm talking with YouTube. I'm trying to see what's going on, and I started to see what happened. And when I hashtagged the name and I put when I put Matt name in, that's when all of a sudden I start seeing they was going after my Twitter. They hacked my television. I'm like, how you hack my TV? Now you didn't really cross the line.
Yo, they've been turning my phone off. They got my YouTube upside down, boy. I'm talking about, man.
Yeah,
stuff they've been doing to me behind the scenes is crazy.
Yeah, I know, and I've been going through it. I've been fighting my way through it. I'm like, man, we fighting a good fight, but then that's how I know they listening, and I know it's working. I was like, oh, they listening and it's working.
Right.
Now we're just gonna turn up, no. And boy, they should have left me alone. Boy, I know. I don't know. See, they never knew what you had. They just thought like, oh, he's just making up. He's just talking. He ain't got nothing. Man, I know, man. Matty don't want no more. Matty don't want no more. He got Matty's been packed it up.
Man, they call him Becky with the good hair everywhere he go. Yeah. That name gonna stick with him, Becky with the good hair.
Yep.
But
cool. And the thing, I saved Jack life before.
Oh
yeah. We was in a strip club. I ain't gonna say where, but we was in a strip club. I'm there with my buddies, and everybody watching the girls dance and all that stuff. And there's some some guys in there, like some real like D boys and dope boys in there. They got money. They just got bottles, everything. Yeah. Jack comes in.
Oh Lord.
Jack with these big Beaumont, Texas looking dudes. They come right in the door. And he comes in, he talks to one of the managers. He goes sits down in the back area to give him a table. And the manager, whoever running it, they come put him over there. And then they sitting over there looking at him like, oh, it's one of them basketball players. Yep, and he over there with the watch. You got to flash that watch. Everything. So he over there kicking it with his crew, whatever. Then one of the girls who was dancing, like one of the star girls, he gets up and the manager come talk to her in her ear while she over there dancing to them. She gets up, grab her money, start stacking it up, and she come over there to where they at. And then another friend, the girl, she go over there and she talking with Jack and all this. So now the D boys is like, oh, I'm ready. Ain't heard wrong. We been over here doing it. This NBA nigga coming up in there. So,
Oh, I know how it goes.
so they getting all antsy. So they looking over there and, you know, they looking back like Jack like not even worried about it. So all of a sudden, they have like the managers running back and forth because they talking to the dude like, yo, you go get these girls and bring them back over there. What you doing? So the guys over there, Jack, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be bad. I was like, that's Jack. I was like, that's Steven Jackson. I was like, man, let me go ahead and try to see if I can calm this. This gonna go left quick because Jack got a mouth. So Jack was like, man, we ain't even worried about them dudes, man. Like, get them. He telling old girl, hey, go pay out, go cash out. You coming with me? We leaving. And so she was like, all right, let me talk to my boss and see. And she came over with a price, whatever price they negotiated, Jack paid and bought her out for the rest of the night. Jack was like, I'm buying you out for the rest of the night. Am I lying, Jack? Am I lying, Jack? Jack paid for the girl to leave and go with him out the club, right? So they get up, they finna leave because they feeling the tension, like it's finna go down. And then the dude start talking to her, hey, where you going? Oh, you just finna leave? You gonna bounce? Because this bum-ass NBA player that showed up.
What did CB4 do after that?
Yeah, so, man, after that, you know, Jack looking like him, started talking shit back, and next thing you know, man, she finna bounce, she got her stuff, and she leaving out. And I'm like, man, Jack, just go. I'm like, dude, Jack is like, we ain't worried about nothing. You know, and I ain't gonna assume, but let me just say that they were okay. Like, they had blue steel. So they were Jack and them had blue steel. So I know they had some, and the D boys, they were like finna go. It's about 20 of them in there, at least. And the dude in there, they talking about like just doing it. Like, we gonna go out the exit in the back VIP. I'm like, whoa, hold on. I'm like, dude, don't. I'm like, look, if she wanna leave, let her leave. She gotta come back. I'm like, that dude gonna come, he gonna be gone. And she'll be back here tomorrow. Y'all here every night. So now when she come in, don't give her no money. Thin her ass out. Give these other girls some money and teach her a lesson. And he was like, yeah, that's a good idea, man. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Help that beat, man. We gonna thin her ass out. Good thing I talked to you. Yeah, we gonna give these other girls some money, right? She dude gonna be gone tomorrow. Yeah, she gonna be back in here starving.
Man.
I'm like, Jack, I really saved I'm not gonna say I saved his life, but something could have went down that night. Because they were going out there to come for a confrontation.
Right.
Somebody was strapped. I'll tell you that. So something was gonna go bad. So
all of this over ego.
Right. All of that has been because I intervened and talked and was able to talk logic in the situation. We was able to come out with nobody got hurt, everybody went home. So, but I'm just saying, I ran into Jack and I'm like, Jack, I saved your life that night. I saved your life that night.
I bet he ain't admitted.
No, he ain't gonna admit that. He ain't gonna admit that. But if you text him, ask him about it. Said, man, did you go in there and buy this girl out the strip club and these dudes ready?
I ain't even got to hear the answer to that. I already know. I already know. Shit, boy, look at here. But let me ask you this, because I know people gonna say, "Oh, they joking too much." What is your take, and what do you think? Explain to the people what you think the impact of coding and trade schools can do in every community across America. What do you think could happen?